Hey guys, this is 681 Shadow, and welcome to my anime review for Death Parade. Now, this isn't just for Death Parade, as in the title you will have seen that not only is it Death Parade, but also for Death Billiards, and I will explain why in just a second. But for those of you who have not seen Death Parade or Death Billiards anymore, Death Billiards isn't really required to see, um, but if you have not seen Death Parade in its full, then I recommend go watch it before you watch this review, as there will be spoilers mentioned, I'm pretty sure. And so there will be a timestamp on the screen saying when the spoilers will start. But for now, I'm just going to preface the anime and talk about um, sort of a non-spoiler way to talk about the connection between Death Parade and Death Billiards. So first off, um, about Death Billiards, basically the anime for Death Parade, the 12 episodes, was created in 2015. It was the winter season of 2015. However, it was based off of Death Billiards, which was made in 2013. So that's kind of the connection there. It's basically everything is the same pretty much. It's um like you'll see the connections between between Death Billiards and Death Parade, and I would recommend watching um Death Billiards before you watch episode 10 of Death Parade. That's just a personal recommendation from me at least. But to preface the anime for those who have not watched it before, it's basically um an anime about the afterlife in the world, and how basically people when they die they're sent to they're sent to this bar, which is the basically the setting of the story, and they are greeted by a bartender named Decim, and the bar is called Quinn Decim. So, and then basically these people are forced to play a game and stake their lives on the game because they don't really know that they're dead. And it's definitely a very emotional anime. That's just um, like, it definitely was an emotional anime in more than one way. So, if you're into like a lot of like um, emotional thought provoking stuff like human nature, things like that. If you like that kind of stuff, then I would definitely give this anime a watch. So now to get on to the review. So things I liked about Death Parade. Well, first off, I really liked the emotional factor of the show because with all of the judgments by the arbiters such as Decim and Ginty, um, they have to bring out like the darkest part of their of the people that basically come into their place to be judged. So I really like the emotional factor as like, and it's been very varied between people. Like there were some people that were very hostile, like in episode 9, well 8 and 9, um, they eventually ended up the two guys eventually ended up being hostile towards each other. And then there were also some very nice encounters, like um, the the childhood friends, the guy and the girl, which was they eventually went on like a little date in Gwendeckham, which was I like that scene. It was really nice, and how the older lady in episode 10, how she was able to how she just came alone of because because that game was also a way of judging Chiyuki. But the old lady, they had a good time. It wasn't like very violent and everything like that. But another thing that I liked about the anime, I really liked the way that these characters were able to develop in some ways. Because like let's take Decim for example. At the beginning of the series, and mostly throughout the series, he's seen as a very serious arbiter. He does what he has to bring out the darkness in people's souls and things like that. He's very like one-minded. That kind like he doesn't really stray off and think of new ideas and things like that. But his character development really starts to spur the more time he spends with Chiyuki, as because she's human, her her ideas, her thoughts that she's expressing, those are creating new ideas for him to think about and to possibly change the way he does judgment, which apparently was a pretty big issue for other arbiters, such as the older man. I'm forgetting his name, but the older man with the lotus, he definitely was having a problem with Dekim. But eventually, with all of Dekim's character development, we got led to probably the scene that made me the most emotional throughout the entire show. Well, honestly, episode 12 just made like the honest, episode 12 was like the most emotional episode of the series. Like there were a lot of emotional things that happened in this series, but episode 12, the finale, just tops it all because arbiters are not supposed to be able to feel emotion, but um but eventually Dekim broke down into tears, which and it was a crazy scene because the arbiters, they have the eyes that like they have like that really weird eye pattern, and it turned when the tears started forming under his eyes, he his eyes reverted back to normal eyes, and it was just really emotional to see Dekim cry. Like you would never expect him to break down into tears and cry the way he did. And not only with Dekim, but a bunch of other characters got a lot of development. Um, like I think Nona got a little development. Chiyuki definitely got developed, especially in the latter half of the show. Um, Ginty kind of got developed because of the influence of Mayu, and there's a lot of really good development with the characters, which I really did like, and because of all the experiences with Dekim going through all this development, and all of the like Nona and the guy with the lotus, so they've realized like all the changes that have happened with Dekim, and and it was pretty crazy when they were during the end credits on in the finale when Nona was saying the like the rules of being an arbiter. They added on a fourth rule, which was said by the older man, who said that arbiters shall not work hand in hand with life, for it will ruin them. Which that kind of just hits you um, because Chiyuki was was really liked by Dekim, and but all the other like arbiters didn't really like that he was with a mortal. So I just really liked all like the character development in the show, and only the really other thing to go the only other main thing, because like there were a lot of things I liked about the show, but I don't want the review to be like hours long. But I really liked how what was it? Oh yeah, really liked the sense that they have to play a game too. Um, I really like that it's based off of games um it's been a while since I've seen like an anime about like games. The last one I saw was No Game No Life, and that was almost a year ago. So it's a really nice refresher to see an anime that's about games. And plus, these games have more meaning than the ones in No Game No Life do, in my opinion. If you haven't seen No Game No Life, definitely check it out. Like if you like the game part of Death Parade, you'll like No Game No Life. But I really like how the games like they had a lot of meaning, and they helped to bring back these people's memories because their memories were like dispersed or completely forgotten when they died. So and they didn't remember how they died until they played this game, which it was revealed to them. So for in terms of dislikes, if I had to say if I disliked anything, like based on like just judging the anime, like if it has to be 12 episodes with the length that it was, I feel like the anime was great, and I can't really say that there's anything wrong with it. I did watch it within like a few days, but it was still just an amazing anime. I don't see how it could have been any better, in my personal opinion. And I'm gonna have to, in terms of like what is it? In terms of like a future for this anime, I'm hoping that they can continue this story, even though we saw at the end that Chiyuki got reincarnated. Um, there's still a lot of emotional there's still a lot of emotional experiences, and just overall more things that we can see with Dekim, because he is still an arbiter. There's still going to be people dying and coming to Quindekim, to um, to play a game. So I'm really excited to hopefully see a sequel to this or some form of additional content. If there is, then be on the lookout for the channel because I love this anime. So if there's like some sort of reading material, some kind of publication or something along those lines, I will be reviewing it. But in the end, I'm going to give Death Parade a 10 out of 10. I don't normally do that, but this anime just really took me. It was definitely a really enjoyable ride. It was an emotional freight train. It went up and down. Um, it was absolutely insane. But that's gonna be all for this review. Thank you all for watching. Remember to rate, comment, subscribe, and share this video. And let me know what you guys think of Death Parade. I really did enjoy it, and it's probably the most emotional anime that I've seen, which it really hit me when a lot of the stuff happened. But with that, I'll close out this video, and I will see you all next time.